you come and look at these then, buddy. So it's a little bit blurry, the first on the left-hand side, okay, but you can see now we are getting this better, yeah? You had the handle quite a long way back behind you, okay, and the ball just too far forward, which is basically going to encourage you to hit the ground beyond the golf ball. Now, I think a lot of this was stemmed from the fact for years and years and years the ball's going that way, and you were just trying to find ways to send it more that direction, which often comes from hanging back, putting the ball further forward, leaning your hands behind the golf ball, close the club face, all of the above, okay? So when you got set up in a better position in both these cases here, you can see lead arm now on the club. It feels as though the hands are in front of the golf ball, but only because your eye line is looking like that, you see, yeah? So when you look down from your right eye, which is probably your dominant eye, I'd imagine, your hands now, well, they're in front of the golf club, yeah? Because the club now is leaning back of that eye line, but it's because your eye's behind the golf ball, which is what we want to try and do, because that's going to help get your shoulders square and get that launch angle that we want to get without trying to manipulate it through the golf ball. Now, these two swings, they're very subtle in terms of their difference, okay? Now, I'm going to say the follow-through on this one here now is basically about there, and then the follow-through on this one here now to about there. Now, if we look at those two swings in isolation, you wouldn't say there's a massive difference in those two, yeah? So you're on that foot a bit more. This one, the fact you're back on the heel means you're kind of like that way. It's only subtle. The gap between your knees is a little bit further away as well because you're putting more weight back on this back foot. You just haven't quite got to that left side. And the move that you want to try and practice, and it's going to become more of a, if you're hitting the ground beyond the ball or hooking it move, which again, you couldn't really make this move when you were slicing it. When you're here now, look, all the tour players, they get their left hip over towards that red line, yeah? You never quite get there. You sort of shift a little bit, but now once you do this, it's now pivot, spin, rotate, 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 and then you never get to that red line again. We want to see that left hip more towards that. Head's still going to stay back, which is why you see these guys, what we call that side bend impact position here, but the lower half's got to get this way. If you just pivot and spin off the back foot, you just pull it left. Because now the club face, your takeaway is better. I'm not saying it's perfect, it's a work in progress, but it certainly is a much more stronger, squarer club face. It's getting the club in a better position. But the movements you put into your game to stop the slice of old, it is now becoming less, is causing the hook of new. Yeah?
Feels that way.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And that's what's basically happened is like you've spent a few months, you obviously worked on this takeaway with the driver especially, trying to get a more sort of straighter ball flight, okay? And you were fighting the ball going left to right, left to right, left to right, and you were putting in things to try and fix this. As we said, rolling the arms over, leaning back, closing the club face, all the above, yeah? Now you're taking the golf club back straighter. The slice spin that you produce is reducing. But the instincts to fix the fault you had before is still there, yeah? And it's going to take a little bit of getting used to now, the fact that the ball now is going a different direction. It's a completely new bad shot, yeah? You're now got to think, okay, well, if the ball now is going to the left, I'm at the ground behind the golf ball, it makes sense for me now to get here and then feel this shift towards target. Whereas in years gone by, if your ball's curving left to right, why the hell are you going to want to shift to target and have your hands in front slightly? Yeah, to hit slightly down the ball with the driver rather than trying to hit up on it 5-6 degrees to launch it a long way. Yes, if you want to send it 350, hit up on it, but that's long driving territory, and they hit one ball in 6 in the fairway. That's it. The other 4 or 5 can just miss the planet. They got one sole purpose. They got 2.5 minutes, 6 balls, hit one as far as they can in an 80-yard wide fairway. Yeah, you've got a sole purpose in the game of golf to hit 6 out of 6 drives on the fairway. Yeah, 270, 280 is not short, is it really? And you a couple there that were really straight, that were that kind of 260, 270. And in some ways, if you know you've got that extra 10 or 15 yards in the game, you want to say, okay, well, this par 5's reachable in turf. If I get a good one and you're feeling confident, which at the moment you're probably not, but maybe in the summertime, the 6 on the Mac or 30 on the Mac or whatever it may be, you want to just get one out there to try and get on the green in 2, give it a whirl. Knowing that the risk of maybe not quite pulling it off, would I end up hooking out of bounds or would I end up losing the ball in the trees, right? That's the sort of risk reward you're going to play. If you're in a match play situation, you're 3 down, 3 to play, maybe you've got to go for it. Yeah. If you're 2 up, 4 to play, just get the ball in the fairway. Yeah. Okay, mate. So get that club shaft a little bit forward address. As I said, even that one there isn't even forward. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad position. Certainly, it's more inside your left eye, as we can see. And as I said, in terms of setup, if we sort of put a little blue ball down there, blue ball, okay, that would be the shaft of your iron. Yeah. Basically the same position relative to your body. All that's happened is the ball's moved back, which means the shaft angle leans back. But your low point now, with all the shots, be there. After the ball with the iron, just before with the driver.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Cool. Have a couple more then.